Okay, I'm feeling okay today. Just sitting here relaxing. I gotta go check on a leak. Somebody down the street has a leak. So I'm gonna go check on that here in a little bit. But yeah, I'm just sitting here relaxing. It's really amazing. Like you need to turn off you need to tune out because they're creating such chaos. They're pulling all the stops right now. Um, and from my experience, when an abuser pulls out all the stops, it's because it's the end game. Um, yeah, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say what's coming next or what's up. The only thing I can think is that I'm very fortunate and happy that I've healed as much as I have. That I've come to terms with things that I have, that I've gotten rid of a ton of cognitive dissonance. Um, Very important because there's so much confusion going on right now. And the more programs you're running, the more of the different confusions you're going to fall for. I don't have TV, I don't watch news, I don't do any of that shit. But just on your YouTube feed, like they'll have that little thing that goes across when you're scrolling down that has like the news on it, and you can't help but read what it says. So yeah, man, supposedly aliens and ETs and they're shooting UFOs everywhere now, and China's and fucking Russia and goddamn, oh my god, it's everything, man. Then chemical spills and trains blowing up and this happening and that happening and the weather, and it's the end game, man. They're pulling out all the stops, and it's important to recognize that because part of the game, the major part of the game is keeping you distracted. Yes, they're allowing all this truth to come out now because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because what are you going to do? Okay, go ahead, get all the knowledge. Now what? So that's what I'm trying to say is that's where the healing comes in because they can't monetize your soul. They can't, if you aren't participating in any of this shit, if you aren't feeding into any of this, if you aren't giving fear and emotions or time or effort or, any kind of anything towards any of this, then you're not helping. You're not feeding the system. You're an enemy of the system. Because what the system is doing is they are throwing all this out there, and you are supposed to be part of the system. You're supposed to be eating up all this fear, all this negativity, all this doubt, all this uncertainty, all this knowledge seeking, all this truth seeking, all this, right? All this seeking, all this desire, all this need for things outside of you. And it's just wrapping you up. That's all it's doing. It's wrapping you up. And the only freedom you're going to find is getting away from all of it. I mean, the sooner you can turn everything off, and the fewer outside distractions you have, the better. I'd say right now is a good time to hold. Like I said, if I'm in a fucking weird spot because I'm broken down in every way in healing. But if you aren't this broken down and you have people, I mean humans that you can physically put your hands on and trust, that's all that matters right now. I would say that's all that matters. Or even if you have someone through a phone or whatever that you trust, that one or two people personally that you've known and been through the shit with. Yeah, man. Otherwise, it's just all deceptions. It's all lies. It's all deceptions. It's all fakery. It's all games. It's all shit that wouldn't even exist if you weren't on their programs. If you weren't on their programs, you wouldn't even none of this shit would even matter. It wouldn't even exist. You know what I mean? Um so yeah, I'm feeling like Pulling away from everything is the best thing you can do. It's not getting better. It seems the more you try to, there's no saving anybody. There's no exposing anybody. Look, all that's over. There's no more. There's no more of that. It's all. Everybody needs to go inside themselves, man. Um, if you're feeling certain emotions, there's two things that I would look out for immediately if you are feeling certain emotions, and those would be the type of food that you're intaking and how often, and then the screen time you're doing. And then of course the third would be like I'm in a good position. I don't have to be in the outside world. So of course it would be if you're stuck in the outside world and you're those outside factors. Um Man, I don't know. I'm just trying to throw some things out there, whatever sticks for somebody and help somebody else out. Again, we are beautiful, pure souls born into an extremely toxic, trauma filled environment, put on programs immediately upon birth. Um, there are several things at play in this earth, on this earth realm. And I mean, you can sit there and try to figure it all out and try to make sense of it all. And one of the things that I got into this morning, I sort of got led down a rabbit hole and found myself in, and when this happens, it's not very long. It's like 10 minutes tops for me. Again, because I get sick, physically sick, when I try to do things that are distractions or bread or circuses or things that don't matter in the end. But it did catch me for a second because I've always wondered this, like with like the reptilian shapeshifting, like, and they have them on camera and everything. I know, like, God, a while back, several years ago, I got into that because I was like, man, that's really weird. They're catching this shit on camera. And anyway, so then I would be like, well, yeah, but things beside them are shifting too. And then, but it has to do with electric. So, anyways, it's just another distraction, guys. It's just another fucking thing, man. Again, like without their voodoo, without their fucking technology, without their spell casting that they're using, like none of this shit would even exist. This is all planned. That's what I'm saying. Like it's so fucking scripted out and planned. It's sickening. You have the illusion of free will. There is no free will. There is no free will. The only free will you have is to quit participating in all this. That's it. Quit participating in any of it. That's the only free will, the actual free will decision that I'm seeing that you can make in this world is to just quit participating in all of it. Change the programs, recognize the programs, get on your own program, and just quit participating in any of it. That's where I'm at right now. Um, and they got us so confused because we're a lot of times we're just working in our subconscious thinking that humanity has come from being a caveman and just slowly progressed through the dark ages, Jesus' time to dark ages to now, to the industrial revolution to now. And that's complete horseshit. There's nothing new under the sun. The technologies they had back then, oh my God. I mean, this caveman horseshit, evolution bullshit, man, is just ridiculous, dude. And it's weird because they just have us constantly coming from these programs like that kind of bullshit where you're thinking, well, things are getting better. We can make things better. And through the acts of your effort of working in these systems, you're going to make things better. And it's completely illogical. And it's all part of the program. And it's bonkers. It keeps you going. It keeps you on the hamster wheel. And yeah, man, so it's just recognizing that is that and just being honest about that and like quit cutting other people down, quit focusing on other people, focus on yourself. People are wrong in a million different ways, and it's because they're going outside themselves. The truest people you're going to find are the ones who are just speaking from their own heart, their own experiences, and they're willing to see different perspectives, points of views, but at the same time, calling out the obvious. So yeah, man, it's a mixture of things. But even like those purporting to, well, I'm not here to just portray the truth to people. You got to be extremely careful because the ego gets so involved in these things, and the ego is dangerous. You know what I mean? Yes, we need the ego to survive in this world, of course, but we are not supposed to prop the ego up to where we're crushing other souls. That is counterintuitive. I'm fine. I'm still finding my way. I'm still healing. I'm still finding my way. I'm still figuring this shit out. But what I'm finding is that, by crushing other people, we're not getting anywhere at all, and my thoughts are constantly evolving, and they're evolving because as I'm recognizing that how my thoughts are coming from all my past programming, and that's another thing that, I've been saying for years, guys. I got rid of regular TV. I quit having channels like, God, I don't even know, 15 years ago. I got rid of regular channel TV. And I've only had DVDs since then. But even DVDs, the thing is, you got to understand, as soon as you turn on the TV, as soon as you get in front of the screen, your brain switches into a relaxed state, into a slavery state, okay, teach me kind of state. It is no more well, this is what I know kind of state. This is who I am kind of state. It puts you into a moldable kind of state. And it happens within seconds of turning your TV on. This is nothing new. This has been known forever. TV only came out as a propaganda tool for the U.S. government. Radio only came out as a propaganda tool. So the government knows. That's what I'm trying to see. Government means in Latin, the government comes from the words gubermente, to control, goober, whatever it is, I can't remember now, and mente, the mind, to control the mind control. That's what government means. You know what I mean? So, until you guys recognize this stuff, and then once you do, look, it's not about okay, now I'm on a quest for knowledge. Woohoo! The search for truth. That's where we've all gone wrong. That's where guys like my age have gone wrong. The quest for truth, the quest for knowledge. Well, if there's all this bad stuff out there, that means there's good stuff that I need to find. No, it's all a game. We are stuck. We are slaves. Somehow our souls, somebody sucked our souls from somewhere else, put us into this slavery system, and has us stuck here. And I don't know how. I'm not even purporting to know how or why, because they want to generate our energy and maybe experiment. I don't know, man. Does it really fucking matter? I mean, look at all the things right here in front of our faces that we argue about. It's like putting a 6 and a 9 on the floor. If you draw a 6 on the floor in front of yourself, and then you have your buddy stand on the opposite side of that 6, and you're like, well, what do you think about the 6 I drew? He's going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's a 9. You're going to be like, no, it's not. It's a 6. He's going to be like, no, it's a 9. He's going to be like, no, it's a 6. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's like that. If we can't even agree on those things because of perspective, and there's billions of perspectives in this fucking clown world, then how the fuck do you think any of us are going to sit here and even attempt to try to agree on what happens after we die? It's common sense. It's all argument. It's all arguing points. It's all counterpoints. It's all bullshit. And when you get into it, then that's when, oh man, it never ends. It never ends. It never ends. But yeah, so, I'm getting ready to go out there and take a look at this leak. We had, a good heavy rain yesterday. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling lighter. I feel like I made a major turn in my healing like a couple days ago. I've had like this weird it's like a weight lifted off of me. But it's a really weird feeling because you don't know how to operate without that weight there or what's going on. So, that plus many other things are going on, just it's just hard to process. Like it changes constantly day to day. My health changes. So, um, when I do make a note of something, it's because of it was a drastic change. So I did notice like a heavy weight came off me like a couple days ago, and I'm just feeling like lighter and better. I woke up this morning, I'm feeling, yeah, it's just something. I turned a corner in my healing somehow. Oh, and another thing I want to throw out there, guys, is like with all this AI and everything. One thing I did learn from my healers about this that made me confident to approach my healing was I say, I do not consent, I do not comply. I say that all the time. And I say that because maybe I'll do another video on that.